Now, I ain't gonna lie, man. One thing that got me through my time inside of prison, believe it or not, is sardines. Now, y'all might look at it like, damn, that's crazy. Tell you what, I damn near died when I was locked up. And ain't nothing better than getting a good old sardine on a cracker like this and throwing that jelly on top like that right there. I'm telling you. I'm the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with lock. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrog TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, man. Today I'm gonna be telling y'all another topic video based on how the chain gang almost took me off the map. Letting y'all know how I almost lost my life once again inside of prison. And the reason I keep on doing these type of videos is to let y'all know that, you know, stuff happens and it could happen to you. You feel me? This one here isn't no violent way that I almost, you know, lost my life or anything like that. And for those that have been here for a while, I know y'all remember me telling y'all how I damn near choked to death on a peanut butter sandwich when I was in confinement. You feel me? This one here is to let y'all know how I almost died from starvation while I was inside of confinement, okay? And it's just, you find yourself back there and the guards, man, they don't care, man. You know what I'm saying? And before I break it down and let y'all know how it went down that specific day, I'm going to give y'all more of a little background, all right? To let y'all know how it was when I first got locked up, like as far as how much I weighed, all right? When I first got locked up, when I first got brought into custody from the streets, I was about 240 pounds. By the time I landed in prison, my ID, my prison ID from when I got my picture taken and got put on the Department of Corrections website and everything, when they first weighed me in, my intake physical and all that, said 200 even on the dot, all right? Now, of course, when you're locked up, you know, you're going to lose weight from different things. You're going to lose weight whether you're doing more activities, you know, basically the diet that they have you on in there is a fasting diet. You know, it's like you're fasting, you know, believe it or not. And you don't get that much food, you know, you get just enough that holds you to your next meal, you know, just enough to where they are allowed to legally, you know, only feed you that. You feel me? So at this time, when I was in confinement, by the time I got out of the box, okay, from this stretch that I'm about to explain to y'all, by the time I got out of the box, I weighed 135 pounds. So I went from 200 pounds from when I got locked up, which was on my ID, to 235 pounds just from being back there in the box. Now, this was the longest stretch that I did in the box, of course, you know what I'm saying? It happened to be my last stretch while locked up inside of prison because of Kfrog TV. All right, that's what got me shipped from the institution due to the footage and stuff that I had, and got me railroaded and had me sitting back there for damn near, it felt like ever. Okay, now when I was back there, you know, I had a good face card, so of course people sent me stuff to eat. You know, people on the compound, people that worked inside of the kitchen, you know, I received things all the time. But after a while, when you were back there, you know, it's kind of like the same treatment of how you get from people on the streets when you're gone. You know, it's out of sight, out of mind. You know, they're not going to sit back there and shoot you something for a year. You know what I'm saying? They might shoot you something. You know, they're used to helping people out that are back there that got like 60 days at tops. You know what I'm saying? But I was railroaded back there. You see what I'm saying? I did 200 and something days in confinement. You feel me? So after a while, you know, it starts getting thinner. You know, it starts
running dry. People ain't shooting what they say they're going to shoot back there. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, you know, people get transferred. People get put in confinement. People that were working in the kitchen no longer work in the kitchen. People, you know, are, you know, rotating on the compound throughout that time as well. So you can't expect the same connects to always be in the same spot they were when you got yourself put in the jam. You feel me? So I remember they were coming back there, the officers, you know, they'd cuff me, bring me to, you know, medical. You know, the reason they do a pre-physical when you first get put in confinement is because they want to know your weight. They want to know, you know, everything about you, basically. So that way, when they do these checkups every, you know, few months, they could see what's going down, what's going up, what's going down, what's going, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Now, it was to the point to where a lot of people never really made it to their second, you know, physical, or got their blood taken, or got weighed or anything by the nurse, because they were only getting like 60 days in confinement. You know, I was back there for the long haul, so I went and seen the nurse every few months, a couple times. You see what I'm saying? So I'll never forget me being back there and being so hungry, and there was nothing I can do. Like, I became a professional fisher, which is like someone that knows how to like make a fishing line out of, you know, your string, whether it's from your uniform or the blanket or a towel or whatever it is. I became professional at learning how to fish while I was back there, because, you know, when you got homeboys that come to the box that got food and you ain't got food, or they got something you need, or, you know, vice versa, it's good to know how to fish. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can look on Kfrog TV and type in fishing in prison. I got a video on that. And it's good to learn how to get things from point A to point B. You know, there might be a dude upstairs. You know, you might be in cell 3 and this dude's in cell 8 upstairs, you know, but he might be like, oh yeah, I'll shoot you this, or la la la, this and that. You know, you got to come get it. That's exactly what they'll tell you. So you got to learn how to get your fishing line upstairs, downstairs, you know, and it's a mission, you know, believe it or not. You know, you got to literally learn to build ramps. You feel me? Like with books, you know, you open a book and you can build a ramp. And if you know, you sling your car, which is what you tie to the end of your fishing line, you know, you make a whole bunch of, you know, like line in your room. You feel me? And then when you sling your car up under your damn door and it hits the ramp, it'll fly and it'll go to where you need it to go. And then if you wrap it around a pole, when you pull down on your line, you got it swinging. You know, like, you got to learn all these things, but you got nothing but time on your hands. So this is when I really learned to fish. This is where I really learned, because I was running out of connects with food. No matter how much of a playmaker I was, and no matter what I could get done, you know, cell phones and everything like that, after a while, like I said, your connects, your clientele, everything runs out. So I was back there starving, and it was to the point to where the nurse kept grabbing me and bringing me there, and they were concerned about my weight, but not really that much, because they felt like the 200 pounds that I was me overweight for my height. So they felt like, you know, I was healthier now. You feel me? But me, you know, I knew something was off. You know what I'm saying? And I knew something, you know, didn't feel right. You know, it was like, I've been hungry before. I've had my stomach talking to me. I've had my stomach touching my back. You know, I know what it feels like to be hungry. But for this particular, it went on for like 4 days. I straight up felt like I was starving. Like, the little bit of food they was giving me wasn't working. You understand? And I remember when I was back there and they were telling me, oh, this is good, and I was telling them, like, nah, it ain't. Like, I felt weak. You know, these last few days, you know, it'd feel tingly, like everything inside the cell would feel tingly, like I felt like I was getting lightheaded, like I was gonna faint, you feel me? Not to mention, when they took my blood one time inside of the dorm, which I did a video on this before, the nurse, when I was standing there, when the nurse took my blood, she was like, oh, you could sit down if you want. I said, nah, I'll stand up. And then next thing you know, boom, I wake up to the guard lifting me up off the ground. Like, I fainted when she took my blood of me standing up. You know, which I guess you're supposed to sit down, but regardless, I never had fainted before in my life. So this happened. I hit the deck right in the middle of the damn dorm. Everybody that's in the box with me seen this out of their cell, you know, and all this was because I was weak. I didn't have no nutritions, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have no good food in me. You feel me? This little shit they was giving us, they was shaking the spoon as it was, and I felt like I was literally finna die. And I knew something was wrong because I was literally starving, you know. And it came down to the point to where what I looked at, what saved me while I was inside of there, was sardines, believe it or not. And it blows my mind because for y'all that been here for a while, y'all know, you know, I've broken this down before to where I hated sardines. You know, I would not touch sardines. I had the worst experience the first time I tried sardines. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget, they put me in AC confinement, which is administrative confinement. I got a fresh 60 days in the box. I had a whole $100 in my damn locker. I probably broke this down in videos before. Had a whole $100 in my locker. And when you're back there, you're allowed to get 4 food items, 5 non-food items. So instead of them giving me honey buns and good shit that I had in my locker, donuts and tunas and shit like that, no. They gave me the Swiss Miss hot cocoa, which I think they gave me 2 of those. They gave me 2 Swiss Miss hot cocos, 2 sardines, and hot sauce. And, oh, so it's 5 food items, 4 non-food. So it was 2 Swiss Miss, 2 sardines and hot sauce, and 1 pack of hard candy, which is like watermelon drops or lemon drops. And there was only 2 in there. You know, I had a whole bag not even open, you know, but they gave me one that was 2 in there. You feel me? And because I didn't want to give them my sardines when I was now sentenced to my 60 days in the box, I was getting transferred from administrative confinement to disciplinary confinement, which means I'm sentenced now. So now I had to, you know, get rid of what I had. And I remember my bunkie was like, oh yeah, sardines, bro, I'm telling you, bro, eat them on your breakfast tray. So I was like, that sounds pretty straight. You know, we had grits and shit. I like catfish and grits and everything. So I was like, you know, shit, this might be good. You feel me? But the next thing you know, they were telling us, pack it up. Y'all are going to be eating your breakfast in DC confinement. So I'm like, damn, I don't want to just give them my sardines. So I'll never forget, I ripped the pack open, stuck my spoon in there, and tried to just straight drop it with the hot sauce on there. Man, that shit made me gag, bro. And right then and there, that turned me to where I didn't want sardines my entire bid until I felt like I was starving this one night. And I'm talking about, I've turned down goulages. You know, people would throw in, make a massive goulash. People would offer me a big plate. If I smelt fish and I didn't see you put tuna in it instead of sardines, I wasn't touching that goulash. It was like just something in my mind where I was like against sardines, you know. People couldn't pay me when I'd hustle. You couldn't pay me in packs of sardines. You know, you had to bring cookies or honey buns or chips or soups or something. You weren't paying with sardines, even though sardines was money. You know what I'm saying? And I would not go for sardines, you know. And it was bad because when I was in the box on this last stretch, like I'm talking about, I remember, like I've said before, throwing packs of sardines under the damn door out there in the middle of the damn floor so people would fish to get them. Free fish on the market, free fish on the market. You know, just giving it away because I had no interest whatsoever in it. And what it was is my bunkie owed me a shitload of trays. You feel me? We made a bet and he lost. But he was about to get back onto the compound. So his days were running out. So he was kind of flight risk. If I wait until he had just the specific trays that I wanted because he was on a certain diet. You know what I'm saying? He was on CFO or RDP, which is Religious Diet Program, where they get like a bag lunch. And it comes with like a pack of sardines and crackers and beans or cherry tomatoes, carrots, you know, little things like that. Instead of like our actual trays, you feel me? And his days were limited though. Me waiting just to take his breakfast tray, you know, he had way less days than he had days of how much he owed me. So then I just started collecting, you know, the sardines from him just to have fun and entertainment, have people out there fishing for them bitches, you feel me? And it was so bad to where like, I learned that during survival, you will be hip to something that you're not hip to. You feel me? Like, I couldn't even stand the smell of sardines. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were just so fishy to me. They were like bottom of the barrel. And of course, the ones that were in prison weren't in like a pack like this. They were in like a little, like a tuna pouch. You know, they were kind of like how the tunas are. You feel me? They weren't in no can or anything like that. People would be using them damn, you know, the can probably to cut people and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But when it came down to me feeling so weak and so like I felt like it was over with, I was laying on my bed looking up at the ceiling. And it just felt like, I felt like I had no pulse. You know, like I'd put my hand right here at my arm where they take your blood at, and I swore I barely felt doop, doop, doop. I felt it was like doop, a doop. Like it felt low, man. I'm like, man, I'm dying back here, bro. I know I am. I know I'm dying. I've never felt like this before, bro. For these last 4 days, I know I'm dying. I felt so weak. It hurt me getting up, trying to get out of bed. I couldn't even lift myself up. You know, like I knew I was drained, had no energy whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And I remember looking over at my bunkie, and he was like, man, just try it. He was eating sardines at the time. And I'm like, hell no, I ain't, nah, bro, it ain't, you know, so like I felt like I couldn't stomach the sardines. You get what I'm saying? And I was starving though at the same time. So then that's when it was like, here I made fun of the sardines, you know, throughout that time in the box, laughing and having people, you know, fish for them and everything. But now that I'm down to my worst, boy, I'm about to die. I'm like, man, I got to put something in my stomach, dog. I got to try it. So I ended up trying it. And when I tried it, it was fire, believe it or not. I liked it, and I couldn't believe that I liked it. But I ate it just like I did in the intro. You feel me? Like I put it on a cracker with jelly and ate it. No, it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's fire. And when I ate it like that, I was like, that bitch, you know, it tastes fire. You feel me? So I said, well, I'm eating another one. So I grabbed the other one, and then I wanted to test the sardine like itself now. So then I grabbed just the sardine, put it on the cracker, boom, straight dropped it like that. And when I ate it, it tastes like tuna fish. It didn't taste nasty like before. So then in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, the ones in hot sauce are nasty then, you know? But what it was is my body was in survival mode. You get what I'm saying? Before it wasn't. Before it was stingy. Before it was picky. You could pick and choose. Like, man, I don't want that shit. But at this time, I needed it. You know what I'm saying? I literally felt like I was finna die. So these sardines literally powered me up and saved my life. Because for the next few days, man, I took all his sardine packs. And I was in that bit, and I felt like I was refreshing. Like I felt like I was revived. And I was walking around in that bitch in the cell, talking, hanging out, doing push-ups, vibing, walking back. Just off that little extra pouch of sardines that I was getting each day from him. Like it literally, like they saved me. They literally like replenished me and made me feel a whole lot better. And I couldn't wait. No matter what they were giving us to eat, I was looking forward every night to eating my sardines on a saltine cracker with jelly. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, out here, of course, you can eat it with different crackers and stuff like that. But the classic OG is the saltines. You know what I'm saying? And it was like the ones that you get like when you order like chili at Wendy's. And it comes with the little packs of crackers that got 2 in it. They used to get 3 packs of those with the pack of sardines. You feel me? So it was like 6 crackers, you know? And I like experimented with these sardines throughout my last few months inside of the box. Like I'm talking about, like I had 2 forks, you know, the ones we used to get, the heads and tails was cut off, you know, it was just like the tuna steak, like that, but the spine was still in there, so he was already sliced. So you like, I like stuck the 2 forks in there, boom, and pressed down on one, picked one up, opened that boy up like a like, you know what I'm saying, like he was getting a biopsy done to him, pulled his whole spine out and everything. And I kind of like got over the fish smell. I got over the way that they taste without jelly. You know, then I started eating them with mustard in the box, you know, and stuff like that. And it just blows my mind, because still to this day, I like sardines on crackers with jelly. You feel me? And I literally was about to croak before I tried these. You know, and if I would have just said to hell with it and ate them months before that, instead of just sliding them under the door, I would have never felt the way I felt. You see what I'm saying? And it was like, my weight was still low like it was, you know, and stuff like that. But, man, I was looking in the mirror, which was just a piece of metal, and I was sticking my arm behind my back, and I was trying to put both my hands behind my back, and then I'd push up and look in the reflection, and I'd see my shoulder blades sticking out. Like, you know, I'm a chubby dude, you feel me? I've always been chubby. So it's like, me seeing this, it's like, man, this shit ain't cool, you know, like, this is too small, you know? Like for my damn shoulder blades to stick out like wings, and me to be able to put my hands in between my shoulder blades that are sticking way out like that right there, I knew something was off, man. I'm like, hell no. I'm like, man, I'm getting too damn small in here. You feel me? And to be weak and everything like that, I'm thankful as hell for sardines. Trust me. Like, you would have to go through this type of situation to understand it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, everybody's, you know, survival meal might not be sardines like mine was. You know, that's why my bid will never be the same as your bid. You feel me? You might have found something else and it was your survival meal. But the whole thing was, to me, is they literally saved my life. I feel like if I didn't eat something within the next day or two, other than the little watered down, shake the spoon ass slop trays they gave us, I feel like they would have found me stiff in there one of them days. They would have came in there and I would have been stiff. I would have died from fucking being unhealthy, no nutrients, starvation. Like, I knew something was wrong. You know how when you know something's wrong with your body, you can feel it. It's like a feeling you never felt. I knew something was wrong, and I was telling the nurses, and I was letting them know, and they weren't doing nothing about it. They were swearing up and down. You know, they hear everything in there. They hear every type of excuse and made up thing that inmates can say just to get out of the cell, just to go for the nurse visit, you know, people make up all types of shit. So when you're telling them the truth, they make you, you know, go through it in order to prove it. And then even though you're going through it and proving it to them, it don't matter. By then they're like, yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you got like a rash, or you got a cut, or you got a damn boil, MRSA, or anything like that, hydrocortisone. That's all they're going to give you every time. It don't matter what you go to them about, hydrocortisone. They're just going to try to give you hydrocortisone all the time. You feel me? Cream, 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 cream. Straight like that. You feel me? And it's just crazy because I will never forget. And now I don't need to eat sardines. You know, sardines are like the bottom barrel when it comes to fish. You know, when it comes to eating stuff like that, there's so many people that love fish but hate sardines. And I'm going to be honest with you. Me having to live with those to survive while I was in prison, to make it through my last stretch in the box, till today, I keep cans of them shits in my pantry. You know what I'm saying? And every time I look at my pantry, they're not my first go-to, of course, you know, but they are a reminder. And one thing about it, for some reason, I could crack a can open and it don't even smell as fishy as they used to. But anytime I crack a can open with my homeboys or anybody or something like that and explain to them, man, I'm telling you, crackers with jelly, bro, with sardine, first thing they say is, oh, hell nah, bro, you smell that, bro, this whole shit smells like fish. Like, it's just something about it. It was like it just flipped a switch in me, you know, of me literally knowing that is what saved my life, was me eating them sardines, believe it or not. I cannot believe it, but trust me, it is what it is, you know. And it's like I flipped a switch and now, you know, they don't smell bad to me and they're fire anytime. They taste just as good on the streets as they did locked up. And a lot of times it ain't like that when you eat certain foods. You know, when you get locked up and you're in there and you're eating a certain goulash, you know what I'm saying? Or you're eating some shit thrown together. You get on the streets and you throw it together, it never tastes as fire as it did when you were locked up. Because when you were locked up, you know, you had to eat that shit. You know, you had to stomach it. Now on the street, your taste buds are different. But one thing about it, since I know them sardines is what replenished Frog and made me fucking, you know, brought me back to life, till this day, I fuck with sardines. And they're totally different now on the streets than they are up the road. Like I said, up the road, you can buy them and shit like that, and they give them, you know, to the people with their religious diet programs and stuff. But that made me, once I got out of the box, that made me eat mackerel. Like, I had never had mackerel before that either. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even try salmon like that either in the pouch. But then once I got out of confinement and I seen how sardines were, since they were like the bottom of the barrel, you know, I started eating different fishes. And now I love to eat different fish. Before I went to prison, the only fish I would eat was tuna in a can. And, you know, I'd eat like other seafood stuff like crab, lobster, shrimp. But as far as eating like a mahi sandwich or a salmon sandwich or you know what I'm saying? Or a fucking snapper or tilapia and all that, hell no. Like, I didn't like fish like that. I only would eat tuna in a can with mayonnaise, pickles and stuff, because it didn't really taste like a fish to me. But all that other shit, I couldn't stomach it. I was not into it at all. And literally, me eating sardines made me like all that shit still to this day. Now I can go somewhere and I can order a fish sandwich or a salad with fish cut up in it and everything like that. Like, I grew up eating tuna in a can, so it was easier on me. You feel me? Like, I love tuna. I ain't even got to have mayonnaise in it. I can open that bitch and just eat it straight drop. It's fire. And then, like, fish sticks and stuff like that. Them shits are alright dipped in like ketchup and hot sauce. You feel me? But then after a while, you start tasting the fish. You see what I'm saying? But now, due to me liking the bottom barrel fish, which is sardines, and them shits saving my life, I like fish. You feel me? And I wanted to share this experience with y'all to let y'all know this is another time that Frog almost croaked, bro. It ain't always got to be violent. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to always be a violent way for you to die inside a prison. It ain't got to be a violent thing. It ain't got to be a mistake, like me eating that damn choke sandwich, the peanut butter sandwich that I told y'all about that almost got me. It could just literally be from, unhealthy, unhealth, bad health, and being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You got to worry about yourself. Just because there's so many other inmates and there's so many guards and so many like people that are supposed to be keeping an eye on you doesn't mean they do. You feel me? Like, I was literally telling them something's wrong. Telling them, bro, I would get down off the bed and feel like I'm gonna faint and drop, and I'd catch myself and I'd feel woozy. And I'm talking about for days, bro. Woozy. Gotta wait for the guard to come around. I'm telling the guard, hey, man, I need the nurse. And they're like, all right, we'll call her. They keep going. And they don't call the nurse. Bro, I'm back here, bro, fucking about to pass out and die. You know what I'm saying? And then probably if I did, by the time they came and seen I was passed out, or by the time they listened to my bunkie showing I was passed out, man, I probably would have been, up there floating around, in the clouds by then. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got to always take yourself, and put yourself first. You gotta realize, man, not everybody's gonna do shit for you, and you could lose your life like this. You know what I'm saying? And still to this day, I truly feel like sardines is what helped me survive and make it through that rest of that week. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even get out of the box then. I'm just talking about I was lightheaded. The first night I didn't feel it that bad. And then the next day, not that much. And then slowly it just went away and I never felt it again. It isn't no secret that the only thing I changed was now I'm eating sardines. You see, I was still eating the trays that we always were eating. You feel me? And it was just like, they might say sardines on the fucking pack. And they might, look like fish. But to me, them bitches said lifesaver and looked like a piece of candy because I needed them at the time. You know what I'm saying? And they literally saved my life. That's why I want to come on here and share this video with y'all, and see what y'all's perspective is. How would y'all reacted to the situation? What would y'all do, if you found yourself in there? You see, like, and it wasn't like to the point to where I was like starving to where like anything will do. It was like the sardines never once came to my mind like I was forbidden to even look at them as something that I was going to consume until I was starving. You understand? Like, I probably would have bit my finger off and ate my finger. It probably would have came to my mind to bite off one of my limbs and eat one of my limbs before I decided to eat sardines. If my bunkie wasn't eating sardines right then and there. Like, if I just had packs of sardines, I wouldn't have thought to stomach them shits and eat them. I would have been like, they would have just looked like a abandoned fucking item sitting there in the bottom of my damn locker. I would have thought about eating my finger first. I'm just being real with y'all. But if y'all have ever felt them type of symptoms or side effects, due to, lack of hunger and not eating and not being fed right and losing a lot of weight and not being hydrated, and my blood pressure was real high while I was back there in the box. They started giving me these fucking pill sheets that had like, they were square like this and they'd have like aluminum foil on the back end, and there'd be like 50 different ones, and I had to pop them out of the back, and I started eating these water pills they gave me to put more water in me to keep me hydrated so my damn blood pressure would not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, how's my blood pressure to the roof when I'm not doing shit and I'm back here, stuck back here, you know? It just was all a big fucking thing. And then once I ate the sardines, all of it went away. All of it. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was like poof, you know, and it blew my mind that, you know, sardines literally saved my life, though. Nobody could tell me anything different. But drop it in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think. You feel me? Like, good thing, you know, they didn't take Kfrog out, because if they would have took Kfrog out, Kfrog wouldn't have been here making these videos for y'all to let y'all know what could happen inside of prison. That's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all tuning into this real spill. Y'all already know, man. Like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. Until next time, this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.
I'm a criminal, I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though.
I'm a cool nigga, but I got a limit though, cause I'm a criminal, yeah, I'm a criminal.